Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This time I wanted to spend a little bit on some books that I think are a tad bit overrated. And I'll talk a little bit about why I think they're overrated as I continue. You may agree with me, you may disagree with me, that's fine, discourse is good, but we all have our opinions and we all make our arguments for it, right? For those sort of things. But I just wanted to go over, I just got a handful, not much. But let's take a look at some of the ones I picked out for today. Marvel Superheroes number 13. Now, I have the book, obviously. I have these books. I like them. I like them enough to own them. But I think this one in particular is a little overrated because Carol Danvers, it's the first appearance of Carol Danvers. That's why it's so valuable. I think it raises the question about cameo versus full appearance. And that's why I think this one's a little overrated, because she barely shows up in this book. When I used to have this raw, I remember I had to flip through it a couple times to even see her. I mean, I saw her, but it was just almost like a little minor appearance. And for what this goes for in comparison to Ms. Marvel number 1, which is her first full appearance as Ms. Marvel, all that stuff, got her own series, the whole 9 yards. It's, really night and day. So that's why I think this one's just a little bit overrated when it comes to that, because she barely shows up. And I got a couple of those here that I want to talk about for that reason why I think they're overrated. Okay? Not saying it's a bad book, but it's, I think it's a little overhyped, a little overrated. And here's another one. Perfect example. Great cover. Great cover, great artwork. No problems. But the reason why this one goes for money, more money than the full appearance, is because its first cameo appearance of Darkseid. His first full appearance is Forever People number 1, which goes considerably less than this one. This is the one that people seem to go for, which is odd, because whenever we're talking about cameo versus full appearance, the full appearance usually gets more money, more attention. For some reason, in this case, it's not. Some may argue maybe people don't like the cover of Forever People. I don't know. I think it's fine. But this is a great cover too. But I think Darkseid. He barely shows up in this. He's on a computer screen. All you see is his head. Okay. Carol Danvers makes more of an appearance in that book than Darkseid does in this one. And yet people flock to this one. Look, I'm not saying you should hate this book or should, dislike it or whatever, but I just tend to think it's a little overrated. We're buying, a lot of people buy this book because it's the first appearance of Darkseid. They like collecting keys. Yes, I know there are people, I know there are people, oh no, I collect comics, so I like collecting comics. Okay. But I think a lot of people flock to this because it's the first appearance of Darkseid, the first cameo appearance of Darkseid. It gets a lot more than the Forever People number 1, and if that's why they're flocking to it because of Darkseid, I don't understand why they're flocking to this one more than the other one. That's just my opinion. Nice book, all nice books. I'm not saying, any of the books I'm going to be showing today, I'm not saying, these are crap, I don't understand why you like these. That's not it. It's just that, maybe a little overrated. Next one. Now, I know a lot of EC fans may not like me for this, but I don't know. I just think it's a little overrated. Crime Suspenstories 20. Yes, I know this was in the trials in the 1950s. But I think EC did better hanging covers than this one. Like I said, I think Vault of Horror number 37 is a far superior hanging cover. I guess this is the reason why this one gets so much infamy, because of the court. Why the court even bothered to show this one in the first place is because you get a big close-up of the guy with his broken neck. But again, it's okay drawn. I like Johnny Craig, but it's nothing really that spectacular. But this is the one that everyone, like the hanging cover, that everyone goes crazy for when it comes to EC books. And, I can understand that they like it and it's expensive and all that stuff, but I just think it's a little overrated. I think that there were better hanging covers. I might get a little hate for this one too. Probably going to get hate no matter what. Great cover. Very iconic. but I think it's a little overpriced. I mean, I know the Jock cover is, you see this on t-shirts and all that, and that's why people go crazy, but I still think, despite all that, I still think that this one's just a little overrated. Maybe overrated is not the right term for this. Maybe overpriced. This book is really expensive. I mean, it's a modern book, so most modern books they can be found in high grades. But man, this book could be several $100s. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. That's crazy. I think it's crazy. Maybe you don't. But in my opinion, my video, I think it's a little overpriced. More overpriced than overrated. So, let me correct that. Here's another one. Now, I have 2 left, okay? It's not a very long video. Here's another one. The last 2, I think, are probably going to piss people off. But, I'm sorry about that. It's just my opinion. But I think they're great books, but I do think that they're a little overrated. First appearance of Moon Knight, I think, is overrated. I never understood it. I understand people like Moon Knight, but I just think that this is a little overpriced. I mean, I understand now it's in spec mode, that he's getting his own TV series. I get it, it's going up. But for many years, this was overpriced. And I think the one argument I heard over and over again is, well, Moon Knight is, Marvel Comics version of Batman. I'm like, what? Are you serious? You're really putting Moon Knight in the same category with Batman? Again, that's my opinion. I don't get it. I know he's a dark character, and he's pretty cool. I like him. I wouldn't have it in my collection if I didn't like it. But sometimes when I see the prices that people are throwing at this, before spec, I mean, it's before spec. When was that, right? But before the series was announced, I just like wow, I can't believe it. I just don't get it when it comes to this. I just don't see the real big deal with Moon Knight. Maybe when he comes out in the TV series, I'll learn more about the character that I haven't learned in the comic. Maybe I'll see him portrayed in a different way where I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm open to changing my mind. But as of right now, I'm like, maybe a little overpriced, maybe a little overrated. A little bit of both. And the last one, some people will, I think, really get annoyed with me. And I think some people will agree with me. Wolverine is definitely first full appearance of Wolverine. I'm not going to get into that whole thing. Oh, it's really your second appearance. Whatever. Wolverine, I love Wolverine. I think a lot of people love Wolverine. So expensive. I get it. It should probably be expensive for Wolverine. It probably should be. I'm not saying, this should be no more than a couple $100s. No, I'm not saying that. But the prices of this. Now, I mean, I know for years the price of this was really very, very high, even for 4.0s. I mean, as of right now, as we're in a certain slump when it comes to comics, I don't know how much this is going for right now. I think it's still pretty high, but I think all books are taking a bit of a hit. Hulk 181, Amazing Fantasy 15, and so many others. But I still think it's a little overrated. If you're looking to buy this book, it's really expensive. It can be very, very pricey, even if it's going down a little. I think it's a little overpriced, but it's just sometimes I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But these are just some observations I've known from my personal opinion and from seeing the way other things are. That's some of these books are a little, in my opinion, overpriced. And a little overrated. But, again, all great books, all good books. Just because I say it's overrated doesn't mean I think it's a piece of crap or a piece of crap character. Certainly not. But maybe just a little bit more than than it should, in my view. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that some of these books are overrated? What do you think is an overrated or overpriced book that I didn't include in this? I'd be interested in hearing. All right. Thank you again for watching. I appreciate it. I didn't mean to, cause too much trouble for those of you that really, really like these books, but it's just my opinion. It's my opinion is my opinion. No big deal, right? But let me know in the comments if there are some other books that you think are a little overvalued or overrated. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.